Hey guys, Chris here from Kite Republic, here today to talk you through the all-new Duotone Float, the purpose-built wing for waves and free fly. So as balanced as we've ever seen a wing when it's out on the surf handle, and a really nice all-round wing. Let's get this thing pumped up and I'll talk you through it. Before I do, you'll see here, this wing already has the boom attached. The bag, nice and small still. Comes with backpack straps, all of that, and to give you an idea, a little bit bigger than when you've just got a straight out handled wing, but very close and really well thought out by Duotone. So let's get this thing pumped. Alright, so as with all of Duotone's wings, you'll see the airport valve, so really clean, really easy, and really fast to pump because you're coming through the full diameter of the hose there. See, the dump valve is on the middle strut. Now, let's do it. Alright, so first thing you're going to see is that there is no extra attachment points for handles. So the float is made to be as lightweight as possible, and it flies purely on the new Fusion booms. If you don't like booms, give it a go because it is outstanding. If you still don't like it, then there's other wings out there for you. One of the first things, this is going to be very difficult in this wind actually. I thought the Ferris wheel was pretty cool, so we'd film it here, but makes it a bit hard for the direction. So the boom itself, you'll see it's got that pistol grip there, so super comfortable. You can obviously move anywhere you want through the boom, so when you're coming around and you're making that tack, the whole lot is really stable, really easy, and you never have any gaps in there, so you can grab it wherever and get away with it. So an absolute win there for the booms. They're becoming more and more popular again, and obviously Duotone started all that way back when with the foil wing and the Echo. Now, shape-wise, so float. We talk about it as the ideal wave and ideal free fly. So having it out on this handle wing because it has exceptional balance and it doesn't jump around everywhere and feels super lively when it's behind you. It just settles in there, even in a weird gusty area like this, still settles really well for a majority of it. How does it do that? Every wing's claiming to be amazing at everything at the moment. Now this wing doesn't, they don't aim it at that freestyle side, they don't aim it at that super lively feel side. This is specifically designed to have plenty of power, get you upwind no problems, be a really balanced wing, but mainly to be able to fly it with the absolute easiest amount of balance, like just docile nature behind you when it's on the free fly, and be super easy to go from hand to hand and jump around. So how do they do that? Firstly, you'll see the wing itself is very flat like through here, and it doesn't curve back and have that really lively turn through here. So when we'll say it's got wider shoulders, let's say, before it curves back. Now what that actually does is when you're out there, it actually wants to self-correct itself and be in a balanced position there. If we were to sweep that back a bit sooner and change the wing structure to, instead of being in that tracking sort of wing, to be a real slippery feel, then what that's going to do is, on the freestyle side, or on the side of wanting a more lively feel, it's going to roll really easily, and it's going to do all these things super easily, but it's not going to be overly settled when you want it to be. So this particular wing is aimed at being really stable, really easy to fly, and it feels very stable as you're riding along. It doesn't want to roll by itself too much. It just wants to settle where it is, and it wants you to be able to do your thing and make the most of your foiling without too much liveliness from the wing at the back. Now, in terms of the balanced nature, you see the draft, or that wide point of most wings. You've seen a lot of them lately coming forwards and forwards and forwards. And what that does, it just puts more pressure and more yank through that front arm. And it does, I guess it can help on the upwind side of things. It can help with that side, but it also puts a lot of pressure through that. Whereas this one comes back a little bit more. So the wide point being around there, and it sits really settled through there. So when you're flying it, you'll find your arms are feeling really even between the two. You're not feeling your front arm with all this force and then your back arm sort of can almost rest. You're feeling a much more even feel between the two hands. And again, for me personally, that's the feel I like. I want to be able to make my own little shuffles one way or the other if I've got a tired arm or a tired forearm at all, and be able to do it like that, as opposed to being told like, oh, if I'm going to my right, that arm's getting all the work, and vice versa going the other way. So really nice and balanced. Now, one of my absolute favorite features on this wing, and obviously it being stable, steady, and riding behind you well, is super important for that surfing side, and it feels really comfortable. But there's also the ability to change hands and the ability to go from winging along with the boom to dropping it back and being in that free fly area. From that free fly area, you want to go from here to here. You know, you want to be going from one side to the other with ease and not be sacrificing your surfing, sacrificing the line you're on. This is the biggest handle that we have seen from Duotone yet. So they've got a massive neoprene patch through there, so there's no knuckle rub, anything like that. But the handle itself, it reacts. It's not a soft handle that you're moving and then you hope to find some tension. You move it a little bit, I move it the slightest little bit, and the wing moves with me. Because it is stiffer, bigger, they have really got it right, and I'd say this is the best of the handles from any of the brands that I've seen so far, purely due to the size, the comfort, and the fact that it is really stiff and it reacts how you want it to. Great job on that one, Duotone. Very, very stoked about that. In terms of the materials that they've used, you'll see they've got that Mod 3S, or that new wing material through here, which is lighter than we've seen before, but it's still a very strong and I guess, yeah, slightly stiffer material. And that's in the areas where you see that flap go through a wing, so that will last really well. And then when we come up to this front section through the draft, it's a little bit of a lighter material. That's taking the weight out of the wing without doing it in an area that you're sacrificing strength or longevity, like the trailing edge in the back where you get a lot more flutter. So it feels a bit more forgiving to have that slightly lighter material through here. And then at the back, you've obviously you've got that stronger Mod 3S material. You know, Duotone are the brand that came up with the original wing-specific materials. So materials that last a lot longer, they're a bit stiffer, they're not coming from a kiteboarding world so much, where, you know, a bit more stretch can be good sometimes, and that real movement and flexion of the canopy is what gets it through its turns so much. They brought in the strength, they brought in something that was going to last better and work in a much more efficient way for wing foiling. When we look at it through the structure, so through the strut and the leading edge, we've got a full Dacron material. So they've been able to get the full Dacron and really nice feeling material into a wing that feels super light and easy to use. I would say if you are looking for a wing that's going to be quite lively, that's really going to roll as you roll it through turns, and one that, yeah, effectively you can do your spins and rotations, things like that on your freestyle side, the Float is not the wing for you. I'd be looking more into the rest of the range there. maybe the unit, maybe a couple of those. If you're looking for a wing that you want to use because you want to be smoother with your surfing, to catch more bumps, when you're out there on the waves, you don't want liveliness and it jumping around, then the Float is made exactly for that, and there are some real positives in that area. There's an exceptional lineup in the Duotone wing range, and they do cross over very well. But yeah, this is the first 100% specific going onto the surfing and that free fly side, and there are some features in there that they've done really well with. If you are keen on more information on the Float, you're keen to have a demo, or yeah, any more questions, hit us up, kiterepublic.com.au. Cheers.